A new investigative newsroom focused on education is now up and running at Arizona State University. It is called The Beam. It's a local accountability publication digging into K through 12 issues across Arizona with a focus on transparency, data, and student impact. Its team of journalists working alongside students, it aims to take a deeper look at the challenges facing schools and families. And for its very first investigation, they uncovered an emerging concern already showing up on school campuses.
I started sending records requests for all weapons confiscated at different school districts. So I sent them to about 20 school districts in Arizona. I was surprised to see 3D printed weapons on some of the records, and not only that, but some of them described intent to sell.
Well, a new report from The Beam is shedding light on an emerging issue here in Arizona schools, those 3D printed weapons.
Yeah, I mean, you think of all the great things that 3D printing does, and you don't really think that it has another side, but it does. Investigative journalist Alice Driver found cases involving students as young as 10 years old, raising new questions about safety, awareness, and whether our schools are prepared.
Nohalani Groff sat down with her to learn what parents and educators need to know and the steps that experts say could help get ahead of the problem. No, hey, this is really concerning.
And getting ahead of it is key here. Here's what's happening. Printers are cheaper for everybody to buy. Tutorials, they're everywhere. And this new investigation shows how the gap between curiosity and capability is now disappearing. And many schools need to be thinking about how to handle the crossover from a kid's home to homeroom.
It started with a records request. Investigative journalist Alice Driver, working with The Beam, asked Arizona school districts what weapons were being confiscated.
And I was just really kind of wanting to see what was being confiscated.
One thing jumped off the pages: 3D printed weapons.
Which in some cases, it was a fifth grader, 10 years old.
The items, ranging from knives to gun components, were typically printed at home using designs easily found online.
It's emerging and picking up speed. The thing is, the printers are cheaper, the designs are better, and a student can find kind of a step-by-step instruction in minutes.
Colton Easton from Safer Schools Together says what's most concerning, it's not just what's being found, but what isn't.
The scary part is, for every weapon that gets found or piece that's manufactured, there are still students at home or at school right now that are researching how to build some of them.
And in many cases, students may not even see the danger.
These kids thought, that it was like a fidget spinner, the knife was like a fidget spinner. They could still be used like weapons.
Driver also found inconsistencies in how schools responded, from how items were classified to whether parents were notified.
Are we treating these as weapons? Are we treating them as toys? What kind of disciplinary action are we looking at?
That's where experts say schools need to catch up.
We need to look at our policies and procedures, because most schools that have 3D printers, they have safety rules, right? The health side is covered, the security side is open.
Clear policies and better communication with families can make a difference, because much of this starts online and outside the classroom. But early awareness and action can keep it from graduating to the next campus threat.
Right? This isn't a future problem. It's happening right now. The technology is in your buildings, it's in your homes. So the question isn't whether we deal with it, it's how can we get ahead of it.
So for parents, experts say you need to start by knowing what your child is downloading and printing at home. It's not all just fun little trinkets and toys. We are linking tools and parent guides from Safer Schools Together on 12news.com, as well as guidance for schools. And the Beam's full investigation will be there as well.
Oh, gosh.